G'day, my name is Jake Miller and you're here with Oompher. I'm here at ZM Radio in Auckland to speak with radio legends Fletch, Vaughan and Megan about their radio career.
I like that.
And what they've learned.
Radio legends.
Cheers guys, appreciate your time.
Radio also sound pretty good.
It does.
Yeah. So how's it all going? You having a good time?
Good, yeah, loving the change, the early starts.
Yeah.
When the old 4 a.m. alarm goes off.
Yeah.
It's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing. It's a great job. We've got a great job.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Oompher's all about inspiring people to achieve extraordinary things. So who and what during your life and career has inspired you guys?
It's a heavy question, isn't it?
It feels like a boxing match and you just started with an uppercut.
Yeah.
I guess like it's pretty cliche to say your parents, but my parents are kind of do what you want to do, don't. Because my dad's a dairy farmer and comes from a long line of farmers. There's like, you don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Don't do what you love, sort of thing. And he loves what he does, but he knew it wasn't for everybody. So I guess some supportive parents played a huge role.
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing.
Yeah. And what about you guys?
I originally wanted to be a journalist because I liked writing, but then it seemed like too much hard work, so I decided to talk on the radio. But I used to just listen to like any kind of TV person, anyone that was on the radio at the time. I used to listen to Fletch.
I'm not that much older than Megan.
He just started very young. He was very youthful at the time. So just anyone on the radio, I think.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I grew up, we had some great little radio stations around, and so you'd listen and you'd see them out and about, and they just looked like they had the coolest jobs. So I got like quite interested, and had supportive parents that, had some friends that worked in radio, so I got to hang out at the radio stations and went from there.
Cool. So there's always a bit of a pull towards radio for you guys, even sort of growing up, you knew that you wanted to get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yourself, Vaughan, or was dairy farming?
I think it was just whenever I was at school and would do those career things, that always come, the cards would be like media or anything, and New Zealand's always had such a strong a history of radio, and there was, when I was at school there was still a lot of regional radio stations, local radio stations in Hamilton and stuff, so it was like Fletch said, it was easy to get in there and see it happening, whereas TV, even then, TV was all based out of Auckland, and was hard to get into then, so I just say, I don't know, it just seemed like a good
thing.
A good industry.
Okay.
Under the media umbrella.
Yeah, and I guess what we're trying to do is bring a bit of inspiration and information to people in schools and stuff who are working out what to do. So for those people wanting to get into radio or into media, what would you guys say to them? What would your advice be?
Well, unlike those two, I didn't have supportive parents. They told me to get a real job.
Yeah, they wanted Megan to be a piano protege and
My dad
a scientist.
was extremely unhappy that I went to broadcasting school. So I think like just know what you really like and just go for that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be stuck doing a job that you end up studying for and then you realise you hate it.
Yeah.
Listen to what you like.
If you find a job you love, you'll never work another day in your life.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But I'd like to thank inspirational speaker Instagram for that.
But it's true. Like we have a genuine laugh. Like we're best mates and we love our jobs. And it doesn't feel well. Are we not friends?
We're friends, but we shouldn't throw best as a very.
Are you guys?
Yeah.
But it just like sometimes I see people in office buildings working in like office cubicles, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like I just could not do that. And I think it's so important to have a job and that you love. So while you're at school, start looking around. Like what would you want to do, and work out how you can get there, because it is important, to have a job that you love. Yeah,
and what makes radio different? Like, what would some specific advice be for the radio industry? I mean, there's obviously so many people who look up to all you guys as I say, radio legends. You guys are like we've listened to you for years. So, what would you say to them, for people who listen to you guys and would love to be in your position one day?
I'd say it's not as easy as it perhaps looks. It's certainly not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and if you're motivated by money, it's probably not the industry for you, because for the first few years, you just do whatever you need to do, and a lot of the time you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it, they'll find someone that will. Like, it's bad, but
it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're definitely passionate about it, just keep going.
Yeah. Keep giving it a go.
We've all definitely done the hard yards of sitting on the couch, serving coffees, shelving CDs, doing sausage sizzles. But if you really want to do it, you just...
People aren't shelving CDs these days, they're shelving MP3s. Quite a lot easier to stack.
I'm just saying back in the day.
What's a CD shelf?
An ancient relic. They'll dig some up in Egypt soon.
Yeah. And
I mean, it's hard, but in saying that, like, you know, it's possible, but it is one of those industries where you've really got to stick at it and be really passionate.
Yeah.
And try really hard to get there.
And I guess
new media is a passion industry.
Yeah.
And especially in New Zealand, it's so small.
Yeah.
There's not a hell of a lot in the scheme of things. So it is a passion industry.
Yeah, and I guess that for this type of radio here, the reality is that you've actually got to be funny as well, because people do listen to laugh and have a bit of joy in their morning and afternoons, you know. So is it something that you guys are always sort of bouncing off listeners to come up with funny ideas? And how do you actually come up with like the funny stuff that you guys talk about?
Well, like the bigger things, we have meetings and plan it out, and but just the conversational stuff's pretty on the spot. Like Fletch said, we're friends, so we know, you know, how conversation's going to go between us.
Yeah.
It's like when, you know, if you're joking around with your mates in your little circle, you think you're the funniest thing ever. Because you know each other and you're just like bantering and having like good laughs. I guess that's kind of just what we do.
Okay.
But I guess we just take stuff that's happening in the news and just look at how we can put that across in an entertaining way.
Yeah.
You know, put our spin and angle on it. But I mean, we plan, we finish the show and we plan. And then we plan for the few days ahead. So, you know, we're always looking at ideas and what's in the news and how we can do a take on that or a spin. Yeah.
Cool, yeah. And I guess agility is probably pretty important with like social media is obviously pretty huge now, ZM TV and obviously iTunes podcasts. And weren't you guys on Air New Zealand or something as the top watched or listened like audio ever? I mean, it's pretty inspiring. So, I mean, how is these new technological developments and so on influencing the way that you guys go about your job as opposed to a few years ago?
Well, it's not just radio anymore. You can't just think, I'm just going to come and talk on the radio.
Yeah.
You've also got to be filming videos. You've got to be online. You've got to be all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Pinterest, we've got some lovely...
repins.
We've made some lovely shelves as well.
For our CDs.
Yeah.
Should we ever require them again.
Yeah.
And I think radio in New Zealand's the most multimedia.
Yeah.
Because, we do radio, we do video stuff. New Zealand radio is really hit on social media. Like, it's massive.
Yeah.
So, I think it's across it all. Like, the paper's got online, but, you know, they don't have radio. And they don't have, TV stuff. And TV doesn't have radio. It's got social media. So, I mean, I think we're pretty up there.
Quite diverse.
Because that video, I guess it's so accessible these days when you're driving in the car and let's say the radio gets boring, you can just play it your phone and start watching YouTube videos and driving along.
Yeah.
Hopefully not crash the car, but, you know.
But it just means that like anything on our show we can like reference to our own video, or, you know, like we can film something that's on the back of something we've spoken about and chuck it online, chuck it on social media. It's just a whole nother level of interactivity, I guess.
Yeah, so you're always pushing listeners onto social media and the TV and the podcast and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Well, they kind of feed each other. Because they might not be listening to the radio, but then see something on social media and tune back in, so...
Yeah, cool. So what do you guys reckon are like some of the bigger challenges in radio over the next maybe 5 years or so?
I'd say more of that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Like looking outside of what we do on air.
Yeah.
For those other avenues. It can be, especially at breakfast, you get up at 4 a.m, by the end of your show and then some planning, you're pretty knackered, but you've kind of got to always be on and thinking about how to have a presence in the afternoon through social media and videos and everything like that. So I'd just say keeping up and keeping ahead and trying to lead the way would be probably the biggest challenge.
I mean, there are people that, you know, have predicted radio's demise through like online streaming.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I mean, you can listen to the things like Spotify and iHeartRadio and just have just music. But, you know, people want the personality, they want the companionship, they want the entertainment that, you know, you can't get from just a streaming music service. So I think it'll always be a place for radio, but it will just, as it has been evolved, it'll just have to evolve like it has.
Okay,
to be as entertaining and
Yeah, nice. And what's the strategy for differentiation? I mean, in terms of competitiveness, obviously there's some other good channels out there at the same times with, I think, all shows when different shows are playing in New Zealand. So what's the strategy that you guys use to differentiate yourselves from what's going on elsewhere? Are there certain things you guys do that's different than what everyone else is doing?
I think we've always had the approach that we like to be pretty honest and pretty real about things. Like, if something didn't work, we're not afraid to say it didn't work.
Yeah.
And just a realness to us, I guess. And like, just having fun, because the minute this isn't fun, then it won't be, well, by definition, it's not going to be enjoyable anymore, but I don't want to have a job that's not enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly.
So I won't, I think, we are honestly having fun when we have fun.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
But like some people, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell you're like, they're not really having fun. They don't like each other that much.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, so just before we head into some quick fire questions to finish off, when you look back over your career, guys, what's some of like the struggles that you've been through and getting to where you are today? Are there certain things that you look back on and there were some pretty hard times in radio and things like that?
Like any industry, there is always politics. Yeah. Like, you might have thought that you were better for a position or something, and somebody else got it, and I guess just like any job, just keeping at it. Everybody has days where they don't want to go to work, but
and I guess starting out's tough, isn't it? Like, you might not be earning that much money. You got paid in meat packs.
I did.
Didn't you?
After my internship, after I'd paid my rent, I had $50 a week. Yeah. And I lived in Auckland. So starting out's rough, and then you're just like like I said, you're serving people coffee and things, and you're just wondering if you're ever going to get anywhere. Yeah. So starting's pretty hard.
So you got to keep that desire, I guess, for where you want to go.
Yeah, that's where it comes through to the passion thing again. Yeah. You've got to imagine the light at the end of the tunnel.
Cool. Okay, well, we've just got a few quick fire questions to finish off. What would you guys reflect as your best moment in radio ever? If you had to come down to a couple of things, what would you say?
Goodness.
It's always hard answering questions like that when you've got a good job.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like if you were in business, it'd be signing the big deal or getting the massive client. But when you have a job that's always a lot of fun, I guess
the cat?
Could say. Painting with a cat.
One moment that I can think of, it depends on like how much fun you had or how many people you reached. I mean, it can depend on different things, but one thing was Crazy Sounds Like
that was pretty amazing.
That made us reach so many people, like millions.
All over the world,
all over the world, so that was a pretty big moment.
Cool, yeah. And if you're 80 years old, what would you tell your children? What would be your advice for them?
Don't go to the supermarket in track pants.
I thought you were going to say don't go to the supermarket hungry. That's where you end up with like a total rhyme.
It's been scientifically proven if you go to the supermarket hungry, you spend more.
You do.
Okay.
But then that's the reason you're going to the supermarket is because you are hungry and you need food. So it's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you've got to be prepared. If you don't prepare, you prepare to fail.
Sorry, Instagram.
Wow. Another Instagram.
There's your advice from 80-year-old to your children.
Yeah. So we used to quote from books, now it's just Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. Yeah. Okay. And where would you guys go in the time machine? If you had a time machine, where do you reckon you'd go?
I don't know. The dinosaurs? Would you go back to the dinosaurs?
No,
get eaten.
unpredictable.
They get eaten, okay, not the
And then
dinosaurs.
who are you going to hang out with? There's no malls or anything.
But imagine like going back to like the early 1900s, you'd be super brainy.
True.
You'd have so many like little bits of info.
You think about the mathematical stuff that people were working out in ancient Greece that we still don't understand. They would have been the brainy people.
And I'm going to be like, in the future people are going to do this, this and this, and they'll be like, how? And I'll be like, I don't know.
But I can't show my working. I'm cheating.
But you could like you could be like, guys, I've got this new thing, it's called sushi.
Of all the things.
And then Japan's already got it.
Yeah, but not in like Auckland and stuff. They wouldn't.
In the early 1900s.
Yeah, I could open this first sushi shop ever.
Well, I'll open a kebab shop and we'll see who does better at 3 a.m. with drunken sailors.
Brilliant.
I thought you were going to say like cars or laptops or something, but sushi. There you go.
Sushi. Simpler than a car.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Victorian because they get to dress real cool with those dresses and.
Oh yeah, I'd love to go to like late 1800s America, I think.
Okay.
So like when they were building railways across the continent, and it was like the Industrial Revolution, and like cowboys were still around, and I reckon that would have been pretty cool. Gold Rush.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would have been just for a
You'd
look.
get shot for being.
Oh yeah, I don't want to stay for long. I just want to look.
Yeah. And what would be your favourite go-to costume that you would go back in time in?
The Victorian ones.
Yeah.
Like, not like Game of Thrones, because like more prettier than that.
Do you guys have
They
any?
have
like
pretty
big-
ones like Sansa Stark.
Big, like, pretty dress, like princessy dresses.
I don't know about costumes. I don't like costume dress-up parties. I've got one this weekend, and I don't know what I'm going as.
No, neither.
Okay, so there's no you're not big fans of costume dress-up parties.
I bought a yellow jumpsuit and I shaved my beard to just a goatee, and I've got a shaved head and I wear glasses, and I go as Walter White from Mum and Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Yeah, so that's just enough people were like, that's pretty good. That'll probably just be my costume forever. Like in 50 years I'll be wearing it, and they'll be like, who are you? I'll be like, Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I've never heard about it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how this one made the cut, but what's your favourite smell?
Sandalwood. Oh, vacuum cleaners or sandalwood?
Sandalwood. No, vacuum cleaners are disgusting.
No, like vacuum cleaners have
What
that
about, like, cooked bacon?
dust. Oh, that's also very good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like walking past Peter Alexander, the pajama place.
walking
They always
past-
have the most amazing smells.
Do they?
Yeah, I think it's French vanilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
French vanilla's great.
Delicious.
KFC maybe makes a list.
KFC, yeah, that's good.
Cooked bread?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not doing carbs at the moment, and I'm going to say that I go to the supermarket and sniff the buns.
That's how they. Yeah,
You're a bun sniffer.
that's how they sell houses.
I've seen
Real
that.
estate agents, they put
Fresh
bread
baked bread.
in the oven and turn on the oven.
Oh, really?
The gangway from our plane in Christchurch had a sniff ejector.
Because it was
Did
Marlborough.
you see all that?
It was
Did you see that?
Marlborough and it had grapes. So then they squirted out the smell of grapes. But it was like lolly.
But lolly grapes, not
So you're
actual
like,
grapes.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like grape Fanta, not
Yeah.
grape.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Fanta.
grape Fanta.
Yeah. And what do you reckon the 16-year-old people you were would think of who you've become today?
I hate my 16-year-old self. I think it'd be my 18-year-old self would be even worse. I think it was like early mid-20s when I started becoming someone that I could now like.
I just
Okay.
think I was always cool. So my 16-year-old self would be like, still
Yes.
cool, still got it.
No, your
Yeah.
16-year-old self would think you were cooler than your 30-year-old self, and you'd have a big argument and then have a
Yeah.
fight, like a fist
Yeah.
fight.
Did
You
he-
would not get on with yourself at all.
Did she sniff buns as well?
She was a bun sniffer.
Yeah.
Chronic
Bun
bun
sniffer.
sniffer.
What about you, Fletch?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd be stoked because it's what I've always wanted to do. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about
Your
careers.
16-year-old
Yeah.
self would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like, oh my god, what happened to my hair?
It would be.
I didn't. You're doing really well otherwise, though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone
that's
from
going okay.
Yeah, can you give me some lotto numbers as well? Yes.
we've gone from favourite smells back to careers. So yeah. And just before we finish off, if there's one last little bit of advice you would give that 16-year-old of yourself, what would you say to them?
Dump that girl just before Christmas, because otherwise she's going to dump you on Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, that was you're still heartbroken about that.
No, I just think I'm not heartbroken, like I don't care, but it's just a move.
Yeah, and you had to spend money on Christmas presents as well.
I
so
know.
happened before.
Yeah, I did. I spent.
Did she take the Christmas presents?
Yeah, she did. I took
So
her
rude.
Christmas presents though. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
I was obsessed with lots of boys, and I'd probably say don't worry about it so much.
Yeah.
Is career? Do we want career answers?
Oh,
No,
Or do
no,
we want
anything.
actual
Anything.
Yeah, that's
Anything that
probably
goes.
Good, like general advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have
To
to be
teenagers
careers.
is like,
Yeah.
and it's a hormonal period.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just like, brah, that's all you think about. But
And girls are always
chill.
convinced that you love them. Like, I love him, and I know that I love him. And then when he doesn't like you, you're like, Devo. So, I don't know, I'd probably just say that. Don't worry so much about the boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you'd
Calm
say.
down.
Well, I'd
Yeah.
say chill too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To myself.
Awesome. Thanks very much, guys.
What was the best out of those two? Let's be honest.
Absolutely not.
Dream big, kids. Don't ever give up.
That's a good one.
Hang
Yeah.
in there.
Awesome. Right. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank
welcome.
Have a
you.
good rest of your day.